Hey, I'm Angel,
And I'm Adon.
and welcome to Tales of Two Bros, where we strengthen our bond through things we grew up on,
And currently relevant to us,
which may or may not include
anime,
animation.
movies,
To be more specific, action,
martial arts,
sci fi, or TV programs.
and whatever else pops in our heads.
But first, let's give you a little history on us. I am Angel. I am about 12 years older than my brother Adan. Growing up, I was a big fan of kung fu movies, Saturday morning cartoons, Atari, ColecoVision, Nintendo. I read comic books. That was my first, I guess, the superhero Marvel DC world. One of my biggest idols, and still to this day, is Bruce Lee. A huge fan of animation, anime, study martial arts since the age of 7. I was able to attain 2 black belts, and around, I guess, 11 and a half to 12 years, you were born.
Yep.
And thank you for responding. I guess a lot of your influences or your likes is because of what I liked.
Yeah, I would say so. And that's because a lot of the stuff that you liked was always around the house, so I was able to pick up on those things. I'm big into comic books, anime, all those other same genres. There are some minor differences in some of the things that he liked, but between me and him, but that's where our discussions come from because there was that age gap. There was a lot that I was essentially catching up on that he had and then like was used as influence. And you're growing up learning to read, the comics was a big part of that, playing video games. Actually, I remember I would play video games that you didn't have access to, but the movies you had the access. You were the one that was the main primary movie source for the longest of times. Martial arts, I did do martial arts myself. We ended up actually doing separate styles, but I also became a black belt. I was a 3rd degree black belt in my style, and I did a couple other styles in between. Oh, well, actually, prior to that.
Right. I became a first degree black belt in Tong Soo and a 3rd degree black belt in Seido, which is Japanese karate, and you attained a black belt in
Taekwondo. Prior to Taekwondo, I did jujitsu, a smidge of Aikido.
Well, I remember you taking a keto class. I remember you dropping you off and waiting for you in the parking lot because guardians were not allowed to be there, which was I thought was awesome in the sense of they couldn't be in the room to distract the students, especially kids. I also studied various martial arts. I did study some jujitsu. You and mom, who took it first prior to me, even though I was a big fan of the early UFCs with Hoist Gracie and things of that nature. But you and mom studied a little bit under Esteban in Tampa, Florida, but I also did some boxing, which you was with me a couple of times to see my boxing training. I've done some Muay Thai. We had that gap in a sense. I was doing my thing. Honestly, say I was a bad brother in a sense. I was very distant. I was selfish. We always talked about either martial art films, action films, animation, or we played video games together. Look, I've kicked your butt, you kicked my butt. There's plenty of histories of me, my temper.
We'll probably come to a story. It was easy to do that because of the sense that you're right, there was that gap in time frame. And it wasn't just an age gap. It's like he was in college and he wasn't commuting from home. Like his college was hours away. We didn't have cell phones back then. When he would go away or we would do something, that was an easy thing to catch up and communicate with and discuss with without having to be like acknowledging the gap. It was a way to kind of always be connected, oddly enough.
Right.
On a subconscious level. I joke about it, but like I tell people, like when my brother and I would meet up, we may have not talked for like a month or 2, but we can go right into a conversation like it was just yesterday.
Yes. Oddly enough, we don't talk about the birds and the bees or relationships and things of that nature, which
not that it's not relevant.
It's not that it's relevant or not. It's just something that we didn't talk to. It was just like being an older brother, 12 years, and me doing my thing. And I never thought that was part of my job. And maybe it is, it was. I always thought that was his job, in that sense, because he was the man of the house. But we always could do things together. I remember when I would visit, we would go to arcades or go to, when you were of age, clubs and things of that nature. Again, when we get together or we go on the phone, we'll say, hey, have you watched this? Have you watched that? You should check this out. Oh, so-and-so is in this new project. We seldom have differences on what we've seen. Then again, we do have different points of view or matters of opinion on certain subjects.
Yes.
We even gone together and done cosplay at comic book conventions. Even though we're 12 years apart, we have the love of Marvel, DC, and stuff in between, Star Wars, even Star Trek, and various video games, mainly the fighting games as like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, UFC. And then you have this, other ones like Uncharted or Tomb Raider. Granted, I will never be, or maybe I never experienced, maybe one day I will, Dungeons and Dragons or Magic cards scenario, which you love.
That's something that is more recent, but I've tried to talk him into playing those kind of genre games because, as opposed to me, like growing up, he was more into, he wanted to do acting. He's done work where he's done performance. And I was never a person that wanted to be in front of people. Oddly enough, I'm the one that chooses the games that are role play, and he doesn't, as far as interacting games.
But with this podcast, Tales of Two Bros, I'm looking forward to our new adventure together and something that we can share with the audience that can also relate to what we like, or maybe they can disagree, which is fair enough. Now, everything is going to be liked by everyone. I'm excited about this. I'm looking forward to doing more with you and sharing our talks, and I'm excited to see where this goes.
Same here. Absolutely.
All right. If you're interested in listening to our shows, please hit the subscribe, hit the like, turn on your notifications to let you know when our episodes will come out. I am Angel.
I'm Adon.
Love you, bro.
I love you too.